What's up everyone, welcome once again to the channel. It's your boy Luis Portelles, and today we're going to be talking about Miss Universe 2024. More specifically, I will be trying to answer the following question. Can a powerhouse country win Miss Universe 2024? In order to answer this question, I will give you my humble take on the current candidates of the countries with the strongest track record. And listen, I know very well that a lot of countries claim to be powerhouses in pageantry, but today I am sticking to facts. So please join me today as we deep dive into the profiles of this year's delegates, and let's see if the odds are in their favor. First off, let's start by talking about the beautiful Miss Universe Puerto Rico 2024. Her name is Jennifer Colon, and honestly, since this woman was crowned, she has been the talk of the town for a couple of reasons. First of all, of course, her immaculate, divine beauty, that is something that is undeniable. And in fairness, it is also no surprise, as the local organization in Puerto Rico are known to always send quality delegates to Miss Universe. And that has been proven for the past couple of years, not only with the many wins that Puerto Rico has had at Miss Universe and other international pageants, but in recent years, there has been a consistency of Puerto Rico placing very high at Miss Universe. I think that it's safe to say that Jennifer Colon is one of those candidates that comes from the inclusivity badge of Miss Universe, as she is indeed a mother of 3. So just a couple of years ago, she wouldn't have been able to join and represent her country at Miss Universe. One thing that I really want to highlight about her is that I find her extremely inspiring, because come on, being a mother is already a challenge by itself, but being a mother of 3 and be able to pull all of the preparation for an international pageant to look this good. She might be lucky on the gene side of things, but it also takes a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat and tears, and discipline, most importantly, to look this amazing. She is also a very accomplished woman by being a medical esthetician. So in terms of her background, this is also a woman who has an education and that is able to set an example by being a strong, independent woman. Now, in terms of her presence in Mexico, I think that Jennifer is really a very refreshing candidate. To be quite honest, I followed her national competition a little bit, so I knew what to expect in terms of performance, in terms of beauty, but I really started falling in love with this woman the moment that she started giving interviews, having appearances on certain podcasts, and most importantly, when I started seeing her interactions with the media at Miss Universe. To me, this is when you can set aside those who have a very likable personality and those who are just putting up a fake smile for the camera. You can really feel the human side, the reasoning on this woman. This is not just a beautiful face, but someone who has the brains and who has the substance to deliver a meaningful conversation and have a human connection. And I know firsthand that a lot of Miss Universe fans and pageant fans, period, don't sign up to these things to hear the communication skills. Some of them just want a beautiful woman, but truly it is required. When the candidate is traveling all over the world, when the title holder is required to meet with presidents and ministers and all of these people, it is important for you to have, your hand on the pulse and be able to adapt to every single situation. I don't think it's impossible for her to win the crown. As a matter of fact, I see her placing very, very high, top 10, perhaps even top 5, matching the positioning of last year's representative for Puerto Rico. And if you are within the top 5 and you have a chance at the final question, listen, at that point, it's up to you. So this year, I am confident that Puerto Rico is on the right track. Let's continue with the same question. Can a powerhouse country win Miss Universe in 2024? But this time around, let's talk about India. The beautiful Rhea Singh, who made so many waves when she was crowned just a couple of weeks ago. Rhea gave us a lot to talk about because honestly, I felt like the audience was a little bit split about her being the winner. A lot of people were actually rooting for Daisy. He was considered to be a fan favorite since she joined. If you go back to my videos that I made about her competition, I shared my opinion back then. Rhea won her pageant fair and square. She gave a solid performance every single time for every single segment of the show, and I really felt that she was able to shine the most when she had to grab the microphone and deliver her Q&A portion. So many people were pointing out that Rhea is a newbie, that Rhea only has some experience in the teen realm of pageantry. But to be honest, I think that this is not necessarily about who is most experienced. When you look at this batch of girls at Miss Universe, being more than 130 countries, really we have people from all backgrounds. Some of them have competed in many competitions. For a lot of them, this is their first international. Even for some of them, they were simply appointed. So Miss Universe, the international competition, is their very first ever pageant. So I think that that's not really a reason for us to be able to judge. Some people were talking about her age because Rhea was only born in 2004. So she is on the younger side of things for Miss Universe. But remember, in the past couple of years, with all of the inclusion and the removal of the age limits, I think that we are seeing a phenomenon at Miss Universe where a lot of younger contestants are joining simultaneously with older women. And I don't see as many contestants in that middle batch. We have very, very young, and we have the women who couldn't join before and now are taking the opportunity to go and showcase what they have to offer, which in my opinion is great. I don't have a problem with it. What I love about pageantry in India and what I want to see from a Miss Universe India is truly for her to embody the essence of the country. India is such a culturally rich nation. It has so much to offer, from the traditions to the religion to the language to the arts to the music. There is so much beauty to be discovered in this country. We also know that Indian representatives in pageantry, not just in Miss Universe but in all the international pageants, are extremely beautiful, classy, elegant, well-spoken, and intelligent women. For those people who are out there criticizing Ria and saying that she's too young, that she doesn't have this, that she doesn't have the experience, that she's only a halfie, I mean, go on her profile, scroll through her photos, listen to her videos, her interviews, her interactions. Every single box that there is to check, this woman has it covered. It is on lock. So I am personally very excited for her time at Miss Universe. Now let's be honest, it might be a little bit of a chance for Ria to go and win that crown. I mean, she has to put in the extra work because just in recent years, Harnaz Sandhu ended up taking home the Miss Universe crown. Granted, that was a different era for Miss Universe, different management, different organizations. So there is still a chance for Ria, especially if Miss Universe sees the value both in visibility, reach, and finances to crown another girl from India. So that's the only challenge that I think that Ria is facing. She has to put in that extra work. But other than that, I feel like India this year has an excellent representative. You already know the drill. Let's continue. Can a powerhouse country win Miss Universe 2024? This time around, I want to focus and deep dive on Philippines, Chelsea Manalo. Perhaps the contestant that I have studied the most in this entire batch. As you guys know that I am a huge fan of pageantry in the Philippines. I followed her national competition from beginning to end, from the moment that Chelsea was announced as a candidate to the moment that she was crowned as the national title holder. And all I can say is that to the international audience, to the people who don't follow pageantry in the Philippines as closely or might not be as familiar with her, I can understand for a lot of them why they might be overlooking Chelsea. Chelsea has a very soft personality. She's a very kind girl. She is very soft-spoken, but this is not a reason to overlook her. Recently, when I made my video about my standouts for the Gala de las Catrinas, she was actually my standout of the night because I thought that the girl was able to deliver a very smart look, which truly embodies what I have seen before in her national competition. This is a girl that, although she might fly under the radar at first, she will go on stage and she will outperform veterans, fan favorites, social media stars. Chelsea has a very interesting background coming from the modeling world. So this is a woman that is very comfortable in front of a camera, who is a natural born performer. She is also a woman that comes from humble beginnings. That's something that you can feel in her personality. Whenever she approaches people, she is very down to earth. There's no ego. She is able to connect with everyone. And I think that's so important, you know, for people not only to like you as a title holder, but also for them to be able to relate somehow to you. A big part of being a Miss Universe is about being able to connect with your audience, to inspire them. So how can you be inspired by someone that you cannot connect with or that you cannot relate to in any single way or form? On top of that, I mean, going more towards the side of Miss Universe and the inclusivity and all of the changes that we have had in the vision and mission of the organization, Chelsea Manalo represents a shift in what the Philippines has been sending internationally for years. It has been a topic for the past couple of years why the Philippines sends sometimes halfies and girls who are mixed with other ethnicities, and a lot of fans try to discredit the track record of the Philippines by saying that some of the victories have been by halfies. Well, this time around, Chelsea is also representing the beauty of a mixed Filipina, but contrary to her predecessors, she is the very first Filipina with African descent. And listen, I have lived in the Philippines for the past couple of years. It's a very beautiful, diverse, inclusive country. However, it is no secret that in Asia, there is a colorism issue. People are obsessed with white, fair skin, and for a lot of people, Chelsea is disrupting that vision, that industry that has been set in place. And I'm not just pointing out the Philippines, I'm saying in so many countries in Asia and all over the world. In that sense, Chelsea is what you can call a transformational leader because her presence by itself, it's already challenging the norms. And that's precisely what she has been spreading in terms of her advocacy and just making sure that she brings awareness to these issues and give visibility to the communities that are marginalized and penalized because of these stereotypes that have been perpetuated for centuries at this point. Now, in terms of Chelsea's chances at Miss Universe, especially of winning the Miss Universe crown, it's a little bit tricky, to be honest, because when you look at the track record of the Philippines, whenever the Miss Universe pageant has been held in Mexico, the Philippines has gone unplaced every single time that the competition took place in Mexico. I do think, though, that Chelsea is well positioned this time around to obtain at least a placement, leading to the competition when we were not hearing as much about Chelsea's preparation. And for the first couple of days, I was very confident Chelsea could obtain at least a placement in the top 30. That by itself is already history in the making for the Philippines, as remember, before they just couldn't place whenever the pageant was held in Mexico. But now that things are starting to pick up with the Gala de las Catrinas, and in the upcoming days, the girls will have many opportunities to showcase their performance skills, their communication levels. I feel like Chelsea will be able to show the world really what we got to see during her national competition and the reason why she was able to take that crown from so many fan favorites and even veterans. With the stars aligning, I feel like Chelsea has the potential to place in the second cut of the competition, perhaps even top 5. The challenge here really is to get the management of the organization on board. This has been said, I mean, even a couple of days ago, there was a controversy with the video of Anne and Osmel talking about whether they liked Philippines or not, so I feel like it's not really about her performance anymore. It's whether or not the organization sees it and they want to have a title holder from that country, and of course, to get the judges on board as well. But personally, I'm very happy because I know that Chelsea will not disappoint on the performance level. I feel like she has the whole packaging to do very well in the competition and most importantly, to make her country proud, which at the end of the day, that should be the focus of the entire journey for every single one of the delegates. Now let's talk about Miss USA Alma Cooper and her chances of winning Miss Universe this year. And I'm gonna put this really clear off the bat. I think it's challenging this year for Alma, and there's a lot of pros and cons, and let's get right into it. I mean, the first thing that I would like to address is the entire situation back home in the USA with her national organization. There have been just so many changes in the leadership of the organization and just so many public issues and meltdowns with everything that has been going on at Miss USA that I think that to a certain extent that has hurt Alma's chances of placing really high at Miss Universe or even perhaps winning that crown. We also have to acknowledge that, I mean, just 2 years ago, USA won Miss Universe. So does Miss Universe as an organization has an interest of giving the crown once again to USA? I don't think so. I think that maybe they should focus on conquering other markets and try to expand to other areas where the pageant could grow in visibility and business opportunities. I think that the instability within the Miss USA organization can be felt. You can perceive it a little bit in Alma's preparation. I'm gonna split this in 2 parts. She's beautiful. She is very smart, that we saw during her national competition. I am actually very happy, very pleased with her looks this time around. Her daily look so far has been consistent. She is giving us, very fierce vibe, elegant, very fashion forward. So that's something that I have been enjoying from Alma. I sense a little bit of awkwardness in terms of the interactions with the media, as well as some of the public appearances. I feel like she is not so much at ease in the public appearances, but rather she is more on defense mode, feeling like she has to perform all the time, like she has to impress. For example, there's this video of her arrival at the hotel in Mexico, and as soon as she got off the car, people were greeting her like, "Hey, Miss USA, how are you?" And then she went right to like Spanish mode and then catwalk, which is fine. That's what beauty queens do, right? But there's a time and place for everything, and sometimes it can just feel a little bit awkward. I wonder if some of the instability within the organization reflected in some of her preparation. What type of access did she have to trainers, to coaches, to people who were just like overseeing her and making sure that she is at her best? I can't really blame Alma for this. I feel like The girl is giving us the best that she can with what she has. And for that, she has all of my love and respect. Having said that, I mentioned earlier that sometimes she pushes the performance a little bit too much. Well, the good news is that in the upcoming day, we will have a lot of events and a lot of moments where performance precisely will be required. So I feel like that will be Alma's opportunity to really show what she has in terms of skills, and to really try to get the pageant fans on board, which I feel is something that there is a little bit of a disconnect between the support system from the pageant fans and what she is trying to present. I mean, even when you look at her numbers on social media compared to previous Miss Universe or, Miss USA's title holders, I feel like she is on the lower side of support and engagement, but by no means that she'll be a metric that should be considered into her success of her capacity to win Miss Universe. As remember, Arbony, when she won Miss Universe, she was, I feel like, the least followed Miss Universe title holder like in so many years. So people were poking her around, but ultimately Arbony had an incredible reign. So Alma, let's not focus on the numbers. Let's not focus on social media. I don't know, girl, what you're working with in terms of support from your organization back home. I'm also not fully aware of the entire situation with Miss USA, so by no means I'm trying to bash the organization. I'm just saying what I see and what I perceive from the outside, right? I just hope that in the upcoming couple of days, she gets a little bit more at ease with the camera presence and that she is able to simply give her best, put her best foot forward during the Miss Universe competition. As of now, I am hoping, crossing fingers for Alma's positioning within the top 30. I feel like that will be already a huge accomplishment if she's able to move forward even better, but I feel like a top 30 placement will be justified for Miss USA this year. Let's talk about Ileana Marquez, Miss Universe Venezuela 2024, and her chances of winning Miss Universe. Venezuela has one of the best track records in pageantry in the world, and arguably they sent some of the most prepared candidates as far as pageantry is concerned. When I look at Ileana, she simply embodies the essence of a Miss Universe. I mean, from her look, to her aura, to her presence, to the way that she carries herself, I feel like Ileana will be just a perfect fit for the Miss Universe crown, especially with the type of beauty that Miss Universe is trying to push right now. We know that they are pushing the whole inclusivity thing, but also kind of going back to its roots of the type of beauty that they're looking for. Ileana brings both of those things to the table, as she is the very first winner from the Miss Venezuela pageant system to be a mother. So already she is making history, representing a group of women that before had no access to the Miss Universe pageant, so hence bringing in the inclusivity. But at the same time, she brings that very unattainable, kind of like aspirational beauty that Miss Universe is trying to go back to. Especially now that we have the presence of people like Osmel Sosa within the Miss Universe organization. And talking about Osmel, I feel like this might be a double-edged sword for Venezuela because, of course, Osmel comes from the Venezuela pageant systems where he gave them so many crowns, so many victories through the years. But it is also no secret that Osmel is not in really good terms with the national organization in Venezuela anymore. I don't feel like he will personally penalize the Venezuelan representative, but there is a little bit of tension. So that is something that is kind of unspoken, but that is omnipresent in the entire equation, right? So Ileana, other than being a mother, she is also an educated woman, as she graduated in initial education from Instituto Universitario de Tecnología Juan Pablo Pérez Alfonso. The Cuban in me jumped out. In fairness, I feel like the pageant fans and the organization alike see the potential in Ileana, as even up until now, she has been present in all of the major events, photo shoots, and things that have been requested by the Miss Universe organization. And when you look at the pages and the fan side of things, she is also leading by far in a lot of hot picks and leaderboards that determine the popularity of a contestant. So she is a very interesting proposal for Miss Universe as a title holder. We know that she will deliver not just on the looks, but also on the performance. And I am also sure that she has the sensitivity and tact to carry the brand very well and to know how to make herself interesting to the general public, as she is a mother and she is able to carry so many responsibilities at once. There are still a couple of controversies around her, and some people were talking about her partner back in Venezuela, or maybe her positioning, her vision regarding the current political situation in Venezuela. Those are things that maybe will push back on the Miss Universe organization side of things because they might not want to have any association with political issues. We know that Miss Universe is very neutral when it comes to these things, and they encourage their title holders and candidates to not really get involved in political matters. So that's one of the only reasons why I can think of why Ileana might not be the one. But at the end of the day, it all depends to Miss Universe, what they're looking for, and the vision for the future. I feel like Ileana is a clear top 5 candidate. So if she's able to make it there and if she's able to deliver a killer answer, who knows, maybe she is the one who will bring back home the universal crown. All right, so there you go, everyone. That was my assessment, my deep dive into the top 5 powerhouses in pageantry and trying to answer the question on whether one of them will be able to bring back home the crown of Miss Universe 2024. Let me know in the comment section, what do you feel about my assessment? If there's someone that you want me to look into, please let me know as well. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That's how you support me and keep me going. I'll see you on the next one with more content. Until then, stay safe and be kind to one another.